hot today. It's one of those days. We're doing prisons and rugby union. History says phone lines are very busy when we do those stories. So the reason we're doing prisons today, you may have seen this in your paper this morning, front page of the Daily Telegraph. Bosses at the largest jail in Wales, Bedwyn in Wrexham, are now to get rid of bars, with cells being renamed rooms. A new report says the architecture of prisons should be reformed to normalise prisoners' environments. This is all part of the rehabilitation process. So I suppose the question is, are prisons going soft? Or maybe this is the best way to give people another crack in life. Love to know your thoughts. Lines are open, 03700 100 110. You can also join in via Twitter at BBC Radio Wales. Yvonne Jewkes is the Professor of Criminology at the University of Bath. Hello, Yvonne. Good morning to you.
Hi, Jason.
Thank you for joining us. Yes. Why the need for this new report stroke research?
Yeah, it's not a report, actually. It's a 3-year research project which has just started just a few days ago. And the need really is we have very, very high reoffending rates in this country. And we've been doing punishment pretty much exactly the same way since the 1840s. And really, I think it's probably time to try something new, because the way we're doing it currently clearly isn't working.
So what sort of prisoners are we talking about here, Yvonne? What have they done?
Well, I'm talking about all prisoners. I think that all prisoners should be treated with dignity and decency and respect, and where possible, trust. And I think, treating people like animals actually results in people behaving like animals.
Something that stood out this morning, looking through the research, is the possibility for prisons to have access to laptops. How do you think the listeners will feel hearing that this morning?
Yeah, can I just correct something that you said earlier? At HMP Berwyn in North Wales, actually, as far as I'm aware, there is no plans to remove bars from windows. There are bars on the windows in cells at Berwyn.
Have you seen the Telegraph this morning?
Yes, I have, and if they've printed that, then it's wrong. I think what it actually says, and certainly what I said to the journalists at the Telegraph, is that the new prisons being planned are being planned without bars on windows, and that was from an MOJ source as well. That the journalist got that from.
Well, just be clear, Yvonne, because you have pointed this out. It is, I have to say, in many of the newspapers this morning. So whether the original source has maybe got the wrong end of the stick, I don't know, but certainly in all the papers it says that Bedwyn in Wrexham are to get rid of bars.
Well, I'm not aware of that, so if that's the case, that hasn't come from me. But in terms of laptops, the idea really is, they're not internet enabled. Prisoners can't get access to the outside world through laptops, but they are a very effective device at allowing prisoners to manage their own lives in prisons. And in general, we completely infantilize adults in prisons, and that doesn't equip them well for when they come back out into society. So actually, through laptops, they can organize family visits, legal visits. They can arrange to see doctors if they need to. They can get their shopping through them, and they can also laptops can also have education material.
Sorry, get their shopping. Get their shopping, did you say?
Yeah, food.
Get their food shopping.
Yeah.
Prisoners.
Yeah, prisoners need to eat, Jason.
Is the food not provided for them? They can now choose what they have. They can order their groceries. Is that what you're saying?
They can order snacks.
Okay. Grant on Twitter says, what a great idea. Perhaps put a spa and a swimming pool in there too, so it's really comfy for them. Make it nice so they keep reoffending to go back in. What would you say to Grant, Yvonne?
That's a very typical reaction from people who have never been into a prison.
How does it benefit them, Yvonne?
How does what benefit them, Jason?
What you're endorsing, the research that you're doing?
I think it benefits society, because we really need as a society to do something about breaking the cycle of reoffending in some prisons in this country. And let's not forget, rates of mental illness, drug use, self-harm, suicide are higher in our prisons than they've ever been. The prisons in the tabloid headlines are not the reality. And in some prisons, reoffending rates are as high as mid-70s, mid-80s, and that doesn't benefit society.
Okay, and just be clear, according to your research as well, do you know what sort of offences the prisoners have done in Bedwyn? What sort of offenders are we talking about here?
They're medium security. It's a Category C prison.
Which is?
It's medium security, so it's prisoners for
So type of offences, type of crimes?
The whole range of crimes. I mean, some will have come through the estate, so they'll have been in higher security prisons previously, and they'll be being moved down the security classifications. Others will have committed more minor crimes and be starting their sentence in a Cat C prison.
Okay. Good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. That's Professor Yvonne Jewkes, the Professor of Criminology at the University of Bath. Lines are open.